Hi guys, today I'm going to be commentating on the TheLAZYmd's Crazyhouse games in the Crazyhouse Super Blitz Arena. He's going to start off with a 1700 opponent who is playing an early Fianchetto system on both sides of the board. Already we see some problems. Bishop at e4, Okay. So I think White's problem this game was A, they're playing way too quickly. They have a 1 second increment here. This is a 3-minute and 1 second increment tournament. VinMax has plenty of time. The B3 systems might be acceptable. I think Black gets some pretty easy equality, but double Fianchettos, it's too much. It's too many weaknesses. Often the pawn can drop in here, and already the pin is being used. And then boatloads of material are just lost here. So I expect Lazy to win pretty easily, although maybe there's some resistance with the pawns. But Lazy should have enough pieces. He has another bishop and queen. So it's looking pretty good. He's probably planning bishop takes f3 next. Or maybe knight takes f3 could be good. But rook is hit. So knight c3 just completely losing the grasp of the position, right? He can take the rook now, he can take on f3. So yeah, Lazy's a really accurate player for the most part, and he's fast player too, so good game. Lazy wins with a berserk to start. So let's see where he is in the standings. Let's see. Lazy's in 10th place. And we got a game versus Azagua Casual. He is white in berserking. Okay, so I expect the e4 from Lazy, his normal opening. And yeah, let's see what happens. Bishop c5. Okay, maybe threatening to sacrifice first, but we just transpose to normal knight c3 Italian. Bishop g5. Okay, knight d5, putting pressure on the pin knight. Knight to d4, okay, but Black's a tempo behind, so knight takes d4 makes a lot of sense. Maybe if the bishop will take the queen, the knight can hop into f5 and get a lot of compensation for, I guess, opening up the king side. So this seems like a pretty legitimate thing Black has to worry about, and although Black is up the queen, it's pretty difficult to open lines around the king. He needs like another piece. So I think Lazy should be in control here, but we'll see if Azagua can stir the pot. Okay, knight g4. Hitting f2, but the queen is hanging. So this should be okay for Lazy. Bishop f2, king h1, really nice move. Hiding from any potential checks or unwanted drops or anything like that. So that's a really smart move. Just keeping the king hidden. And yeah, once again, I think maybe Lazy's opponent is playing a little bit too quick. I mean, I know it's blitz, but like, maybe just think a little bit if you don't know the theory or something. Okay, so now he just lost another queen. I think knight at g5 even works here. Threatening mate here in f7. Knight takes g7 maybe is possible, but probably not the most accurate. But yeah. Okay, what if we just drop a queen at h7? King takes h7, knight at g5, king moves back and drop another queen at h7. So queen, okay, knight at f6, a little bit fancy for me, but I think my move was winning. Queen at h7, I think, king takes, knight at g5, nothing covering h6, I mean the knight's covering h6 of course. King has to go back, queen drops, but okay, this way works too. Queen at g7 checkmate. Lazy starts off with 2 quick wins. So now we have Lazy in 5th place, just like that. 2 berserk wins. We have Yasser Sarawan in the tournament. Incredible Grandmaster. Mini Yu is playing. Chuck Lamagny is playing. Very tricky player. But okay, let's see what happens. So now he's playing I Tend to Eat Plants, a much higher rated player at 1981. Double berserk. Knight takes e5 gambit. Wow. So I Tend to Eat Plants, what he did was he sacrificed his knight for some sort of central initiative. I'm not sure if it's enough, but it's very interesting. Pawn at h6, d5, okay. So Lazy is giving up the rook. As long as the king side is covered, it should be safe. Knight to g4, okay. So now the white gets a pawn at f6, so white is getting his stake in the king side territory. So I'm a bit suspicious of Lazy's position, but I'm sure he can make it work. Knight at h6, nice move. Bishop at g7, winning the queen. Knight to f5, wow. Wow. This is very scary. Queen to g8, maybe, but then block with the bishop or knight. Not so easy how to proceed. The king is somehow safe a little bit on e8. But I really like how I tend to eat plants is playing here. He seems like he's really trying to get the kill. Very aggressive. Knight at h6 kind of makes sense to hit f7. e6 is possible, maybe. I'm not too worried about this. So queen g8. I thought rook f8, yeah. Knight to g7 check. Knight to d5 checkmate. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Holy cow. So that's forced mate, actually. Wow. Where did it go wrong? I think here, I don't know. I think once the pawn got to f6, maybe Lazy has to play bishop takes f6 or knight takes f6, and then just try and drop a pawn for some coverage or pieces there, and then we can go for a counterattack. But wow, that was nice. That was some good play. Okay, now we're playing GD Howard. Lazy's playing GD Howard, another strong player, 2167. So he likes to play these queenside fianchetto openings a lot. So Lazy is just going to blunt the bishop, maybe with d6, like a previous game of his. Yep. I think this does a good job to block off the bishop. Okay, so castles, or knight d2, h3, bishop h5, good. So the problem with this setup for white is that it's a compact center. So it's not exactly very active, and I think black has the one who can really try to win here. Black's super solid, just he has time to play f6, there's no real weaknesses here. He's just ready to attack at some point, and white is just kind of solidifying. It's like even more passive than d4, so it's just a slow opening. It's a valid way to play. The knight is on a7, pretty ugly piece. So I think GD Howard has a slight edge here. Okay, e4, okay, sacrificing a pawn, potentially. Trying to open some lines, knight takes e4. Okay, capture, knight to b4. Queen to c4 check is fine. This is defended by the bishop. Can probably drop a pawn here. Okay, pawn at d5, of course. Fork. Oh my god. That's egregious blunder. Bishop takes. I don't think he has anything over here yet. I mean, he could try to rip open the king, but it seems like you don't have to sacrifice the queen. But okay, he might have a valid attack here. I'm not gonna criticize the attack. Okay, king f8, knight takes h7. King to g8 or f7. And maybe we're gonna infiltrate on the light squares. Yes, knight to g5. Accurate play by GD Howard. And now Lazy has some questions to answer. The pawn is coming to f7, h7. We have this bishop who's completely open now. Only one queen for black. So if GD Howard can get a real attack here with the time edge, GD Howard has increment, Lazy has no increment. So, okay, bishop takes d5, pawn at e6. Lazy is building a pawn wall. He's going to make it very difficult for GD Howard to win. Bishop takes b7 and pawn at c6, making use of the knight on d7, queen on b7. It's a fork. Okay, take on g5, take on b7. What's the idea? There's no knight takes g5 quiet move, but I think taking the queen is not so bad. I'm not sure what the follow-up on the king side would be, and black has some questions to answer on the queen side. But okay, I think knight takes g5 is good. I think GD Howard is in control, and he should be winning this game, whether on time or position. Okay, c takes b7, knight takes f3, knight takes f3, bishop at g6. Okay, so we take on rook on a8. Yeah, Lazy is gonna have to be creative really quick to get any chance. Okay, drop a pawn at h7. Oh, we lose the bishop too. Oh, bishop at d6, okay. Getting on the diagonal. He's still fighting. Never give up. Capture, capture. Bishop at d6. Fork. Capture the knight. And maybe we have an attack. Knight at h4. Threatening knight at f3. Knight takes g2 sometimes. Knight at e2 sometimes. Lazy is not backing down. GD Howard is going to maybe have to drop a queen. Or, oh wait, this is hanging. This is hanging. I didn't even see that. But bishop at b7 guards this diagonal. Okay. But yeah, this is hanging. I didn't even see that. Rook takes h4. But, okay, bishop at g4. So he's being cautious, I guess. Just like I was thinking. Being a bit more cautious. Knight at h6. Counterattack. Obviously, he could not capture, because then the queen is coming on the diagonal. Oh, and pawn at c7 is checkmate. That was a tough game. I'm not sure what went wrong, but I think Black's setup was a bit too passive. So now Lazy is sitting at 2 out of 4 points, 1900 performance. He'll come back. He'll bounce back strong. Maybe cut down on the berserking. But yeah, it was interesting. Really interesting game. Okay, Tech Bra 1865. Lazy places normal e4. d5 knight f3 pre-move. So we have a Scandinavian gambit. Wow. It's probably not the most accurate way to play against the Scandinavian, but okay. Wow, free piece. Just lack of blunder check. But how should Black play this opening? Even here, I think it might be smart to drop a pawn on d5. Okay, make the knight go back to g3 and then play e5 and big center, which is always a plus in Crazyhouse if it can't be attacked. But yeah, bishop c5 is egregious. Okay, but knight a5, knight takes a5, knight e7 check. Very nice. So here Lazy uses a theme, remove the guard. So knight c7 is guarding, knight c6, excuse me, is guarding e7 square. Knight takes a5, knight to e7, forking queen and king. So capture, capture, pawn at h6, trying to open up the diagonals. And here I think Lazy has a really comfortable advantage. It's pretty hard to defend. Yeah. We'll see what Tech Bra comes up with. I mean, rook g8. But it just runs into takes, pawn at h6 again. Or bishop at f6. So I'm not really convinced by this. Bishop at f6 right away. Interesting. Capture, pawn at g7. Good. Rook takes g7, pawn takes g7. Queen at h6. Rook at g7, but then king f8? Or king h8 is safe. Bishop's guarding. This probably was not the most accurate way to continue. Maybe queen takes f6. Okay, rook at g7. King to h8. Then rook takes f7, threatening mate on g7. Queen takes f6 probably. Threatening mate on f7. Attacking bishop. Okay, rook takes h7. Whoa, whoa, king e7. Oh, it's check. It's check. Discover check, of course. Okay, so king e7, knight d5 check, getting the knight into the attack. This is nice. This is nice. This should be enough. The king is really exposed, but king d8, yeah. Okay, but queen f6. Rook f7. Game over. Okay. Wow. That was interesting. I feel like there was a more accurate way to proceed. But, yeah, queen e7 next. Okay. Good game, good game. This was a nice tactic. So what if we just take here, rook takes, maybe then drop a pawn? Rook takes g2 is probably completely losing because of bishop at g7. So he might just have to ignore it and go down to rook anyways, which is kind of what happened. But it might just be a better version. Okay. Checkmate. Good game. Lazy has 3 out of 5, 1995 performance rating. 100% Berserk. Even more impressive. Dennis the Viking versus the TheLAZYmd. And we're going to have a double Berserk, possibly. Or Lazy's just going to use his increment. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop e7, d3, knight f6, castles, bishop e3, d6, c3. Okay, so Dennis the Viking is playing a slow positional line. He is not going to try and checkmate on the king. He's just going to try and bring his queenside majority to his advantage, or black cannot really infiltrate. So this is a really positional way to play. It makes a lot of sense. Lazy is expanding on the queenside as well. c5, knight a5, a6. It's just a very positional way to play. Bishop d1, nice move. Rerouting the bishop from c4 to b5 to a4 to d1. Okay, knight to h2, offering a bishop trade. Bishop at h5, maybe bishop at e2 in response. Or g4, wow. g4 seems a bit too risky. f4, wow. This is a interesting position. Pawn at e5, bishop to e3. So now d5, nice, crashing in the center. I think this is good for Lazy, I do. Pawn at f5, take on e4, take on e4. Maybe pawn at d4. I feel like it's a bit too shaky in the center. Knight at d3, okay. Capture on g6, capture on e1. Pawn takes h1, king h8, leaving the cover for the king. Probably rook takes queen now, maybe rook takes knight, rook takes knight. Not so much of attack over here yet, but potentially. Pawn at g3 could be powerful. Pawn at f4 could be powerful. Bishop h4, bishop g5, not sure. Bishop h4, okay. I wonder what Lazy is calculating about here. I think he's threatening the rook. Maybe there's some potential tactics along the diagonal. Pawn at h6, trying to rip open the king side. I hope Lazy can find the right way. It's low on time, 21 seconds to 42 seconds. Low on time. Knight at f5. Okay, king it takes. Is there any good check for white? Bishop g5 for white. Threatening knight f6 and bishop and queen. Knight at f3, okay. Bring the knight in. Pawn at g2, does this work? Pawn at f2, okay. King g2, locking it up. Capture with promote to knight. With check. Okay, check. Rook takes. Rook f2, good. Capture, capture. Okay, defend. Lazy has to defend. Bishop at g1, queen at g1. Knight capture, queen capture, king capture. Pawn at f2. Bishop at f3. Knight at d2. Oh, not enough pieces. Oh. Okay, here there must be something. Knight at f4 looks really good, but maybe it's not enough. Or knight at e1. There must be some sort of mating attack here, but maybe just one piece too short. Knight at e2 here. It was a good attempt. It was a good attempt. Okay. GD Howard again. Let's see if Lazy can get redemption. No Berserk this time. So Lazy is going to be taking his time. Bishop b5, bishop d7. Breaking the pin. So this is a bit more of a traditional approach to maybe this unorthodox opening. Bishop at h5. Okay, so he takes on c4 and drops on d6. I think a drop on e5 could be potentially pretty good, right? Open up these bishops. Even knight takes e5 might be okay. d4, maybe e4. Capture is also fine. Capture. I'm expecting knight capture. That's a classic. Okay, never mind. I expected knight capture from him, but okay. Pawn takes, pawn at d4. This is probably okay for white, but d5, that's strong. Capture, capture, closing off these bishops. And black is a knight up. Black has a knight in the pocket, so in his pocket. Yeah, it should be good. Knight g4, but then e6. Okay, but then bishop g5, so that's fine. Pawn at f6 doesn't hold up to me. Capture. Queen captures g4, and then knight at h6. Knight takes f7, okay. This is an interesting idea. Rook takes f7, knight takes f7, king g7, knight takes d8, most likely. Knight takes d8, check. And, good game, sir. Knight at f3, king to h1, pawn at g2, knight to h4, check after king takes g2, king to g1, queen at g2, checkmate. Beautiful game by Lazy. After knight takes queen, he has 2 knights on the board, just enough for a counterattack. And that is good game. Yes! Lazy versus Yasser Seirawan, the great Yasser Seirawan. Oh my goodness, this is a great game. Great matchup. 4-time United States champion, Crazyhouse specialist, e4, e6, d4, d5, e5. Advanced French. This is a really solid line. Okay, bishop g5, pinning the knight on e7, queen to d7, okay. This is a really solid way to play. Bishop b5, pinning the other knight. a6, capture on c6, knight takes, queen takes. I'm not really familiar with the theory here, but I know this line is pretty well respected. I know there's some things that black has to know, but I've seen a lot of high-level players play this way. So bishop at g4. Now the knight is being really useful on f5. Knight takes h4. Knight takes h4. Yep. We'll see if Lazy has some good compensation here for the queen. He got 1 piece. But obviously the queen is not as powerful as in regular chess, so not as big of a deal. Queen at g4. Okay. I think he is just trying to get near the king also. So knight df3. That's a good defensive move. Bishop at h3 maybe could be coming with like a queen trap idea. Queen is running low on squares. Bishop at h3 first. Okay, knight at e3. Knight at e3. Nice move. Nice move. Distracting the queen. The queen takes g2. Knight takes g2. Bishop takes g2. Knight takes g2. Knight at h3. Pawn at h3. Queen is useless there. I think Lazy is better. I really do. Bishop at h4. Something. Threatening mate. Knight takes e4. No, that's not needed. Yeah, knight e1. Knight e1. Good. The knight's actually a good defensive piece, actually. Believe it or not. Defending a lot of the squares. Yeah, Yasser's going in the think tank. Yasser Seirawan. Chess legend. And chess bra. He's a chess bro. Bishop at h4. Knight to f5, okay. Repeated theme. This knight comes from e7 to f5 in a lot of these French games. And it's a really good piece on f5. Especially when the pawn structure is like this. Queen to b6, interesting. Eyeing the b2 pawn. And d4 pawn, to be honest. Lazy has a small time edge, like 30 seconds time edge. Yeah. Queen at b3 himself. Okay, so if knight takes d4, can probably just play rook takes d4, to be honest. Queen takes b7. If queen takes, I'll just play a takes, probably pre-moved already. Okay, bishop b5. Fine. I don't like pinning the piece to the queen, but I guess Yasser sees that he's safe enough, so I don't think it's too troubling. Probably bishop at e2 should be okay. Or knight takes b5. Capture, capture, bishop c5. A very active move order. I underestimated that. Capture, capture, queen capture, bishop at b4. Nice. Taking control of this diagonal. Okay, queen c6. I'm trying to find a way into the king. I think... Okay, yeah, bishop g4 makes sense. He's trying to get a knight. He's trying to get a knight and a bishop. Okay, he dropped his bishop, but at least a knight maybe can penetrate some of these squares. Bishop at c4, okay, that's pretty decent. Okay, bishop and rook are under attack. Lazy gets to choose one. Queen takes c4, okay. Here I'm just worried about if white has enough material to make it worth it. I don't think he has enough material to make it worth it. He might just have to like just sit, just be down some material and try and defend. Already queen takes f1 is an idea. King takes, dropping a piece on the back rank, maybe cutting off some squares first. This is already a legitimate idea. And Lazy's in the think tank. Bishop at e2. He has to give up the bishop for nothing, but he has a knight now. Capture, capture, probably. Knight can go, rook takes d5, okay. Bishop c6, yep. Can I, no, I probably just rook like d1. Maybe pawn at d7 could work sometimes, probably not. Rook b5 doesn't work. Knight f4, e3 seems like doesn't really make sense. I need the defender around the king. $18 seconds on the clock, 17 seconds on the clock. Rook d1, okay. Knight to f3 is an idea, pawn to f3 is an idea. Knight to h3 is an idea. Wow, this looks very scary, very sketchy. Very sketchy. Pawn at f3, yep. I don't think Lazy can hold this. I really don't. My predictions are always wrong, but okay, pawn at d7, right? So if bishop takes, then bishop takes f3, king d8, smart move. Bishop takes f3. Bishop takes f3 is probably good. Knight at h3 first, but then bishop takes f3, nice. Knight at h4, defending g2 knight. This bishop on g3 is preventing any smother mate on f2. Bishop at f3, nice. Pawn at d6, trying to open up the king. But Yasser's way too quick. Way too quick. Queen at e4, queen at g4. It doesn't matter. Queen at e2. Checkmate. Queen 2e2. That was a really nice game by Yasser. I think he found the perfect time to counterattack. Like, in this position, he realized that, okay, like, Lazy doesn't have any pieces in the pocket. I'm just going to counterattack, win some material. Lazy did not have enough. Okay, now we have Lazy versus Meanie U. Very strong Crazyhouse player himself. Okay, so we have like a d4 opening. Knight d2, okay. Very, very positional, if there is such a thing as positional in Crazyhouse. It's more about middle game ideas, not so much quick tactics. Bishop at h4, bishop at f6. Bishop at h4 again, queen to g6. The knight on c6 does a good job of controlling the square, but he tries to get in anyways with a knight drop. That makes sense. Queen to h5. I don't like when the queen has to get pulled around here in these d4 openings. Oftentimes there can be like a fork. Like, I don't like it, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Knight takes g4. Probably pawn takes f3 or queen. Yeah, pawn takes f3, I guess. Knight c6. That looks sketchy. Yeah, pawn takes f3. Open up the king, of course. Check. King h8. Bishop f3, okay. So he's just gonna say, okay, you know what? I can defend this position. I can defend. Even though I'm losing material, I can defend. But he clearly doesn't have enough for an attack. He clearly doesn't have enough. He has like a knight and a bishop. And the king is perfectly safe right now. So it'll take at least 3 moves to like drop a pawn, take, like get some threats even going. And Lazy has the move. So he drops right away. Probably makes sense. He needs to get some sort of initiative. Okay, wait, what happened? What? Oh, rook g8 to cover g7, capture. Very secure play by Lazy. He's being extra careful after what happened last game with Yasser. Knight at g5, threatening f7. Capture on g7, rook capture on g7. Bishop at g8, defending, and pawn at f6. Ah, knight at h3, beautiful. Knight at f3. Wow. Pawn at g2. Should be enough. And then capture on g5. With the queen. Knight is going on h4. Or you could drop a knight on h4. It's too many pieces. Meaning you is checkmated. Queen takes h3. Wow. So fancy. So fancy. Queen at g4. Beautiful game. Beautiful. Meaning you just had bad intuition. He just thought that he could leave his king side in shambles and play knight takes c6, and this is just not working at all. So, GG. We only have 3 more minutes left in the arena. Lazy is in 7th. Maybe if he gets a berserk, he can catch the 4th place. He does go berserk against Potzer. Okay, bishop e7 Italian. Very, very theoretical line. Basically, black has to know what they're doing, and white does not. Okay, bishop g5. I'm not sure. I think knight d5 first scores a bit better. Yeah, h4 does not make sense to me at all. What is this? And then castles. I'm not too familiar with the line, but I think you want to get knight d5 pretty early, especially if the pin is already broken. But I would just play d4 here. I like the crazier lines, more aggressive. But maybe d4 is not even that good here because capture, and then knight at e6 could be good. But okay, I don't know the theory. Queen takes g4. Lazy should have a huge attack coming. Pawn at h2. Wow. How do we get in though? That's the question. Maybe bishop at f3. We could just take a knight. Take a knight, say, what are you going to do? He has 37 seconds, so he's really calculating in the think take. Pawn takes c3, good. I agree. Knight at e2 could come. Knight at h4 could come, maybe. Probably not. He has to be super accurate. Okay, bishop takes g4. Probably queen takes, but maybe there's some problems with knight at h6. Capture, knight at f6, win a queen. But, yeah, so he could go for this, but okay, probably not enough material anyways. Rook takes f7. This doesn't make any sense. What the heck is hanging? Really? He wants to sacrifice a rook? Okay, but king h8. Capture. Knight at ooh, this looks sketchy. Knight, oh, what? Oh no, I think he's getting away. I think Lazy's getting away. Knight at e7, king f7. Uh-huh. Now what? Where's your follow-up check? You can't play this move and not have a follow-up check. Okay, rook to f4, but then queen takes f4. Beautiful. Beautiful move. Bishop takes g2. Knight to h4. Beautiful. Queen at g2. And rook to h3. Rook roller checkmate. Even on the side of the board. Beautiful. Sacrifice by Lazy. I just want to check the theory. To see if I was right. So yeah, knight d5 it's a move. It's a move. Or just bishop g5, but knight d5 scores a bit better. Also knight g5 is playable. Okay. Knight takes h7. Yep. King takes. It's a lot of theory here. Oh, okay. Maybe this is not even that good. Here there's g6. That's good. Okay. Any more games? Lazy. Seems like Lazy is all done. Okay, wow. That was great. That was a really enjoyable game. I just don't like h4. I'm not sure. I mean, I get that he wants to push this pawn down the board. Maybe get some attack. But then castle on the king side, like, are you trying to, like, make weaknesses? Like why is the pawn not on h2? I don't get it. But, so Lazy just slowly built the attack. Might have been something for white here. I doubt it. I doubt there's anything here. Let's see what Engine thinks. Engine. Is there anything? Engine says -5, so not really. Yeah. Engine says -5. Alright, let's see the tournament. So first place, Yasser Serouane with a stunning 8 out of 8, who beat Lazy in a nice French defense game. Tao Yosef, second place. Braferal Tekbra, Cristobal Audicio, TheLAZYmd, 6th place. I Tend to Eat Plants. GD Howard, Mini U, Chuck Lamagny. Let's go through the rest of the pages. Page 2. We got Pawn in Training from the Discord server. Who else we got from the Discord server? Lazy, of course. Mini U, maybe. Chuck. I Tend to Eat Plants was a tough opponent for Lazy. Dennis the Viking, strong player. Okay, page 2. Page 3. Page 4. And page 5. So, thank you for Lazy for letting me look at his games, and see you guys next time. Bye.